Hello friends, welcome to Dreamweaver Crocheting with Love. In today's tutorial, I am going to teach you how to crochet this beautiful pattern baby frock. Now this frock I have done for a 2 to 3 year old baby, and I have used cotton yarn. So this frock is suitable to be worn in all seasons. In part 1 of this tutorial, we will be learning how to work with the yoke part of the frock, and the part 2 I will be working with the skirt part of the frock. In order to make the frock more beautiful, I have made a popcorn flower and sewed it on top of the yoke. So let's see how this frock is worked out. Now, as I already mentioned, in the part 1 of this tutorial, we'll be working with the yoke. As you can see, the yoke is worked out using simple stitches like double crochets and window stitches. And for the sleeves, I have used a puff sleeve pattern. And for working the sleeve bordering as well as for the neckline, I have used simple chain stitches and slip stitches. So let's begin the tutorial. So let's see what all materials are needed in order to make this baby frock. Here, these are the 2 cotton yarns that I have taken. One is mustard yellow. I'll be using this yarn for making the yoke, and this is dark pink. So the skirt part will be done using this colored yarn. You can also make the frock using woolen yarn, a 2.5 mm crochet hook and scissors. So let's begin. Now initially make a slip knot and work 100 chains. So here I have done the 100 chains. Now without twisting the chains, join the last chain with the first chain using a slip stitch. So this is our first chain. So going to that chain, work a slip stitch. So I have joined both the ends. Now the first row for working the yoke, work 1 chain and work 1 double crochet into the same space where we had done the slip stitch. So here I have done the first double crochet. Now work 1 chain, skip the next chain and work 1 double crochet into the next. So here I am skipping this chain and working 1 double crochet into this chain. Again work 1 chain, skip the next chain and work 1 double crochet into the next. So the sequence for this round is to work 1 double crochet followed by 1 chain, skip the next chain, again work 1 double crochet into the next followed by 1 chain and skip the next chain. So in this way you have to work the window stitch pattern for the first round. So just continue with this till the end of the round. So here I have done with the first row using window stitch pattern. Now one thing that I forgot to mention is that while working the chains, you should work them loosely so that the neckline measures in accordance with the head circumference for a 2 to 3 year old baby. Now in case if you are unable to work the chains loosely, then what I would recommend is to work the chains, use a bigger size of hook, say 3 mm, and after that work all the rows using a 2.5 mm crochet hook. Now for working the second round, work 1 chain, and the sequence of this round is to work 1 double crochet on top of the double crochet worked in the previous row, and into the chain 1 space work 2 double crochet. Now moving to the next double crochet, work 1 double crochet on top of it, and again into the chain 1 space work 2 double crochet. So this is the sequence for this round. So just continue with this sequence till the end of the round. So this is how our yoke looks after working the second round. Now for the third round, the pattern sequence is similar as we have done for the first round. That is, we'll be working window stitch pattern. So let me just complete the second round by doing a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet worked. Now for third round, work 1 chain and into the same stitch work 1 double crochet. Again work 1 chain, skip the next stitch and work 1 double crochet into the next, followed by 1 chain. So just follow the pattern sequence of window stitch for the entire round. So here I have done with the third round using window stitch pattern. Now for the fourth round, work 1 chain and the sequence is same as the second round. That is, on top of the double crochet, work 1 double crochet and into the chain 1 space, work 2 double crochet. So this is a pattern sequence that we will be following for the entire round. So just continue like this till the end of the round. So this is how our yoke looks after working the fourth round. In this yoke, we are alternately repeating 2 rows. That is, 1 row is using window stitch pattern and 1 row we are working double crochets. So as per the sequence, the next row would be the row of window stitch. So for working the window stitch, again work 1 chain and going to the same stitch, work 1 double crochet followed by 1 chain, skip the next stitch and work 1 double crochet into the next, followed by 1 chain. So this is the pattern sequence for this round. So just continue like this till the end of the round. So here I have done the 5th row using window stitch pattern. Now for working the 6th row, work 1 chain and the sequence is same as the 4th row, but the only change is that we won't be working any increases. So going through each of the stitches, work 1 double crochet. So going on top of the first double crochet, work 1 double crochet. Again moving to the chain 1 space, work 1 double crochet. So this is the sequence that we will be following for the entire round, working 1 double crochet per stitch. So this is how our yoke looks after working the 6th row. Now from here on, we will be repeating the rows 5 and 6. That is the row of window stitches followed by row of double crochets till row 9. So once I am done with my 9th row, I shall get back to you. Now from the top till here, I have worked in total 9 rows and the 9th row is the row of window stitch pattern. Now you can see I put the stitch markers. So in the 10th round, we will be dividing the sleeves, the front as well as the back portion of our yoke. Now in total, the number of window blocks, by window blocks I mean these chain 1 spaces we have created in the window stitch. So in total we have about 116 window blocks. So I have divided about 28 and 28 for the sleeves, and for the front as well as for the back portion I have about 30 window blocks. So you have to count it accordingly and put the stitch markers. Now we'll start with the 10th round, and the 10th round is a round of double crochets. Work 1 chain and work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So you'll be working 1 double crochet per stitch till you reach the marker. So I'll be working 1 double crochet till this point. So once I'm done with it, I shall get back to you. So here you can see I've worked 1 double crochet per stitch till I've reached the marker. Now from this marker till this marker, we'll make the first sleeve of our frock. So just skip the stitches and work 3 chains and going to the double crochet on this side of the marker, work 1 double crochet. The pattern remains the same, that will be working 1 double crochet per stitch till we reach the next marker. So just continue with the sequence. So from this marker to this marker, I have worked 1 double crochet per stitch. This will form the front portion of our frock. Now we'll be working with the second sleeve. For that, work 3 chains. Skip the entire stitches in between the 2 markers. So we'll be skipping these stitches. This will form the second sleeve. and going to the double crochet on this side of the marker, work 1 double crochet. So here we have worked the second sleeve. Now till this portion we'll be working the same sequence, that is 1 double crochet per stitch. So our 10th round is done, and this is how our yoke looks after the division of sleeves and the back and the front portion of the frock. Now for the next 2 rounds, that is the round 11 and round 12, we'll be working with the body portion and the sleeves will be left unworked. So for the 11th round, again this is a round of window stitch. So just going into the first stitch, work 1 double crochet, followed by 1 chain, skip the next stitch and into the next work 1 double crochet, followed by 1 chain. So just continue with this pattern sequence, and when you come around the 3 chains that we have worked for each of the sleeve, you have to just follow the same pattern sequence. So just continue like this till you reach the end of the round. So here I have done with the 11th round using window stitch pattern, and even under the sleeves I follow the same sequence as you can see over here. Now for the 12th round is a round of double crochets. So we'll be working 1 double crochet per stitch. We need not work any increases. Just going through each of the stitches, work a double crochet. So here the 12th row is done. Now in total the yoke consists of 14 rows. So we need to repeat the 11th row and the 12th row one more time. So once I'm done with my 14th row, I shall get back. So just continue with the window stitch pattern followed by the double crochets. Now from the top till the bottom, we have worked in total 14 rows. Now one important thing that you should remember while working the 14th round is that the number of double crochets that you have should be a multiple of 3. Since the stitch pattern that you are using for a skirt is a multiple of 3, and so you can just count the double crochets, and in case if it is not a multiple of 3, you can increase or decrease the number of double crochets accordingly, and see to that it is a multiple of 3. Now the next part is to work the sleeves. So we'll be working puff sleeves for our yoke. So here you can see I worked with one of the puff sleeves. Now I shall teach you how to make this sleeve by working it on the other side. Now in order to work the puff sleeve, first we will insert our hook on the base chain. Now work 1 chain and into the same space work 1 double crochet. Now moving to the chain 1 space, work 1 double crochet. Now working sideways, there is 1 double crochet, so we need to work 2 double crochets on top of it. Again going to the base of the double crochet, work 1 more double crochet. So starting from this space till here, in total I have worked 5 double crochets. So now we have come to the window stitch pattern of the sleeve. Pattern sequence that we will be following is to work 2 double crochet into the chain 1 space, followed by 1 double crochet on top of the double crochet. Again into the chain 1 space, work 2 double crochets. So this is a sequence that you need to follow till you reach the last chain 1 space on this side. So just follow with the sequence till this point. So into the last chain 1 space I have worked 2 double crochets. Now we are left with this section. Into this, on the double crochet working sideways, work 2 double crochets. Now into this gap, work 1 double crochet and skip the stitch. Again move into this gap, work 1 more double crochet. So we have come to the end of the first round and slip stitch on top of the first double crochet work. So the first round of the sleeve is done. Now for the sleeve, in total we will be working 8 rounds and each round will be worked in a particular sequence. Now for the second round, work 1 chain, and the sequence of this round is very simple. That is, we need to work 1 double crochet per stitch. So going through each of the stitches, work a double crochet. So just continue with this pattern sequence till the end of the round. So this is how our sleeve looks after working with the second round. Now from round 3 to round 5, we will be working with reduction stitches. For working the third round, work 1 chain and work 1 double crochet into the first 2 stitches. We will be working a reduction stitch. So going to the next 2 stitches, work 1 reduction stitch. I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops. So in this way, I have clubbed the 2 double crochets together to form a single stitch. Now again moving to the next 2 stitches, work 1 double crochet each. Followed by 1 reduction stitch. So this is the pattern sequence that will be following for the entire round, working 1 double crochet into the first 2 stitches followed by 1 reduction stitch into the next 2 stitches. So just continue with this pattern sequence till the end of the round. So here I am done with the third round using reduction stitches. Now the next 2 rounds, that is round 4 and round 5, is a repeat sequence of round 3. And we will be following the same pattern sequence, that is working 1 double crochet into the first 2 stitches followed by 1 reduction stitch. So just continue with this pattern sequence as we are done in the round 3. So once I am done with my round 5, I shall get back. This is how our sleeve appears after working the 5th round. Now the next 2 rounds, that is round 6 and 7, we won't be working any reductions. We will be just doing 1 double crochet per stitch. To start up with the 6th round, work 1 chain and work 1 double crochet into the same space. And going through all the stitches, work 1 double crochet per stitch. So this is the sequence for the 7th round too. So once I am done with the 6th and the 7th round, I shall get back. So in total for the sleeve, I have worked 7 rounds with this color and cut my yarn. Now we will be joining the dark pink colored yarn and give a pretty edging to our sleeve. So into the same space, join this yarn. Now after joining this yarn, work 1 chain and into the same space, work a slip stitch. Followed by 1 chain. Moving to the next stitch, work 1 slip stitch. Again work 1 chain. So this is the pattern sequence for this round. So just continue with this pattern sequence till the end of the round. So after working the 8th round, when I follow the pattern sequence of a slip stitch followed by chain 1 into each of the stitches, I have cut my yarn and that finishes the sleeve. In a similar manner, you can work the second sleeve too, as I have done over here. And even for the neckline, I have followed the same pattern sequence as we have done for the edging of the sleeve. So that's all for today's tutorial. In part 2 of this tutorial, I'll teach you how to work with the skirt part of this frock. I hope you found this tutorial really very useful as well as interesting too. In case of any queries, please let me know through comments. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.